Hey everybody, it's Stephanie Bachman from Nanny Tees, and today we are going to chat about how to leave your nanny job the right way. This is hard, okay? Because you built a bond with your kids, you built a bond with the parents, and perhaps the season is up, perhaps somebody's moving, perhaps circumstances have changed. Either way, you want to leave the right way. So it's hard to leave. It's hard to leave a nanny job. I mean, you're raising these children and they've become family, and it's like you're breaking up. You're breaking up, and it's never easy. It's never easy, especially if you've been with them for years and years and years, and maybe the kids are going off to school or somebody's moving. Stuff happens. And so it's just really, really important that you leave the right way if you can, okay? So the first thing I always I'm going to preach it till I can't preach it anymore. Have a contract and make sure there is something in there about having to leave or quitting or leaving your nanny job. Not quitting, but you want to make sure it's included, just so when that time comes, there won't be any questions. And it's always tough to talk about that, but it's for your protection, it's for your safety, and it's just for your own sanity. Because the reality is, jobs don't last forever. We know nanny kids go off to school and just things happen sometimes when we least expect it. Have you ever been in a job and mom or dad gets a new position across country and they're like, oh, we're moving in a month, and you're like, well, I'm not moving, so the job's over. That's tough. You got to know what to do in that instance. I mean, 1 month is not that much time to find a job. Sometimes it takes months for nannies to be connected with the right families, but however long it takes, you want to make sure you have that in your contract. So I know that most families require 2 weeks to 4 weeks notice if you as a nanny decide to move on, or if the family decides to maybe, hire another nanny. And the thing is, another reason is it just may not be a good fit. Perhaps you've been there 2 months, 3 months, and they're just like, you're not the best nanny for our family, or you're saying this is not the best nanny family for me. Either way, you just want to be covered. You want to be covered. So usually on the end, if parents are letting the nanny go, they'll have some type of severance. Either that's 2 weeks pay, 4 weeks pay, or some kind of incentive or some type of pay to help you as you go. And then if you're leaving, usually there's no severance because you're making the decision to leave. So you just want to make sure you give them ample notice, because you just can't have anybody watching your kids. And so they need time. So you want to be considerate of that, okay? So reasons why you should leave. Perhaps there's a new opportunity that has arisen and you're like, you know what, this is something I want to do. And I want to go for it. So you just want to make sure I personally have just had a conversation. Some nannies like to write letters or emails because it's hard to have that conversation face to face. It really is. Sometimes there's emotions that come up. You may cry, they may cry, because like, again, I said, you become family and you just get so connected. So, some nannies have written letters, and in that letter, you want to be honest. You never want to come off as, upset or, going off. You want to keep it simple and straight to the point. Hello, thank you for the opportunity to serve your family. At this time, I've decided to take another position and I'm giving my 2 to 4 week notice. I've enjoyed my time here. Say some positive things, because you want to leave on a positive note, because what if they want you back in the future, or, they may be in a bind and you're free and they're like, can you just come for 2 weeks or relieve us for a date night? You always want to make sure that you don't like make it a bad thing if possible. Now, let me say this: if you are being abused, or if you are like, if the family is like adding all these extra tasks on and you're like, okay, this is unrealistic, because some families have unrealistic expectations, you still want to leave the right way. At the same time, just say, I found a better fit opportunity for me in this season, or however you want to say it. But again, make sure it's right. Now, the only way I say to quit immediately and never go back is if you are being abused. If they are just not valuing you as the nanny that you are, if they are just, like I said, adding all this extra stuff on you and expecting you to do it, if they are not speaking to you with respect and you know that you're doing the best you can, if they're just like sending rude messages, and I've seen it, I'm in the group, I may not comment much, but I see a lot of stuff that goes on, and it's just pretty ridiculous. Like, if you're not getting a raise, if they're paying you minimum wage and they're not paying you overtime, I mean, that to me is just nanny abuse, and those are grounds for not going back. And there's nothing wrong with quitting if you're abused. I try to, do things the right way, but if you are literally being taken advantage of, don't go back tomorrow. Don't go back. Get that check and leave. Don't. That's the only thing. Even if you're under contract, because you want to have something in there, because I've seen contracts where it's like you leave with cause or without cause. Abuse is with that. Listen, immediate termination of contract. I'm not coming back. And another thing you have to do is, because you have built that tie with the kids, you kind of got to put that to the side if you're being abused. You love them. You want to take good care of them. But if you are being abused, y'all, just don't go back. Like, I don't. So many people are staying in situations that are unhealthy. Like, it's messing with you mentally. It's messing with you financially. You can't live off of certain income and stay there out of loyalty. I believe in being loyal. I believe in being professional. I do. But I don't believe in being abused and undervalued. Okay. So those are just a couple things, y'all. You want to leave the right way. You want to have everything spelled out in the contract. Do not stay if you're abused. I've seen so many situations, y'all. Oof. I've seen it, and it's just not good. It's not good for your health. It's not good for your physical health. You losing sleep. You anxious. You got to go to therapy. You're gaining weight. You're not eating. You're not cooking. Your house is a mess. It's because your job. There's nothing that should have that much control over your life. If your job is controlling everything you do, if it's controlling your mind, your body, your spirit, your soul, and you just not you, that's abuse. That's abuse. That's abuse. That's abuse, and you should leave, okay? Leave the right way. Quit if you're being abused. And don't apologize for it, okay? If another opportunity comes and you know that sounds like you, don't just stay out of loyalty. Take the better opportunity and leave the right way. Write the email, have the conversation, do what you got to do, but make sure it's just a good situation on both ends, okay? And if you do end up leaving, I've seen this too, help them find somebody. If you love them that much and care for them that much, help them find somebody. Say, hey, I'd be willing to help you find a nanny. I can help you interview, go through an agency or something. If you're leaving on a positive note, offer to help. Offer to help, because it's not easy finding another you, right? Because you're amazing. You're amazing at what you do. And on both ends, it should be fair, okay? Okay, never go off. Be professional. Stand your ground. Stand your ground. And don't let anybody abuse you, okay? So those are just a couple things. I know I was maybe all over the place, but I'm really passionate about things like this, because I've just seen so many unfortunate cases where nannies are being abused, and it's just not fair. So if you're thinking about leaving, make sure you leave the right way, have it in your contract, and if all else fails, you're being abused, just quit. Okay. All right. Love you guys so much. I want to hear your feedback. Comment below. Let me know what's up. Let me know your thoughts. How have you left your nanny job? Has it worked out in your contract? What's in your contract? Speaking of which, don't forget to check out all of my goodies online. I have some wonderful ebooks and courses. I have the Mary Poppin portfolio that shows you how to build your own nanny portfolio. There's a contract in there. There's resume samples. There are reference letter samples. There are letter of intent samples in there, just things you need as a nanny. Also, don't forget the nanny starter kit, the So You Think You Can Nanny. Tons of things in there, tons of resources, printables, just great stuff. So make sure y'all head over to nannytees.com, click on ebooks and courses, and you'll see all the goodies, okay? I'll see you guys in the next video.